I'm a caveman. Camille complains 24/7 that I eat like a caveman every time I sit down for dinner. I don't use a fork, I don't use a spoon, I don't use a knife. I use my hands only. So I'm more prepared in those situations. Don't be saying I won't be fitting in the cave.
You're a caveman in how you act. Cavemen were really like 3'2". You are like a giant. The chillest dude of the week brought to you by our favorite beer, Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/dudes and celebrate.
Cheers, my boy, Jules.
Celebrate responsibly.
Coors Light, cold as the Rockies. And don't you worry, everyone. We have one more call to go. The most important call of the day.
Hey, Julian and Gronk. This is Colton. I'm from mid-region New Hampshire. Had a quick question for you guys. Out of the two of you, right, if you were on an island, who would survive the longest? All right, thanks, guys. Love the show. Keep it up.
Well, before we get into it, it really wouldn't be a competition who would survive the longest, because Julian and I would be sitting there and teaming up with each other to help each other out so we could both survive while being on the island. And it's a hard question because Julian's super scrappy, super smart. We'll figure out ways, to get through while we're on the island. And then same with myself. When it comes down to that crunch time, I can dig really, really deep and figure out situations for myself, to survive, hunt, get some fish, whatever it is, kill an animal. So we would help each other out and we wouldn't let each other die. I can tell you that.
Brain and brawn.
But if you really, really had to answer that.
In both.
You really, really had to answer that. That's tough. That is tough. I would say whoever has more meat on their bones, whoever ate more following that trip to that island before we got stuck, I would become a fat ass. I would survive longer than Julian. I would put on like 30 freaking pounds so I can just, survive off of that extra 30 pounds and just have fuel and use all that fat to survive. While Jules is just so jacked that he doesn't have that extra fat for energy. So I would beat his ass because of that reason. So I would fatten up and win by a margin. That's some smart thinking by me.
You gotta think about this. Okay?
Let's hear it.
We're on a deserted island.
Like Castaway.
Probably have tigers.
Castaway vibes.
Probably have tigers. Full Castaway vibes. Probably have tigers, some kind of predator on there. They see something big, they're going after that. I can hide in like little nooks and fucking caves and shit. You couldn't even get in a cave because your shoulders are fucking 39 inches wide.
I'm a caveman. Camille complains 24/7 that I eat like a caveman every time I sit down for dinner. I don't use a fork, I don't use a spoon, I don't use a knife. I use my hands only. So I'm more prepared in those situations. Don't be saying I won't be freaking fitting in the cave.
You're a caveman in how you act. Cavemen were really like 3'2". You are like a giant. You're Andre the Giant. Are you kidding me? I mean, I don't know, man. Can you climb trees?
I can climb trees in that situation.
Can you start a fire? I can start a fire right now.
I'll take 2 sticks.
I can start a fire.
I'll be smashing those sticks together.
I'll start the shit out of a fire.
I'll be rubbing those sticks together.
I'll start the shit out of a fire. Whoever starts fire first wins.
I'll start that fire first. I'm a pyro. I was a pyro growing up. I love fire. I know how to deal with fires. I know how to start bonfires.
Probably should not come to LA.
But say we're not worried about who survives longer. We're working together as a team. Like, who's the brain? I feel like that you would have the idea.
I think it'd go back and forth.
I agree.
We both have knowledgeable shit on different stuff.
And the thing is, you would come up with something and I would execute it, But
you would come up with something like,
and you would execute
randomly
it.
that I would think of like, oh man, yeah, we should do that. And then I would come up with the infrastructure on how to execute your game plan. And then you would go out and we would execute it.
What would be?
I'm just scared of the bugs and shit, dude. And how do we know that's the stuff. It's not the big stuff. It's like we're sleeping down. You get bit by a goddamn scorpion that poisons you and you're done.
So basically whoever has the better luck would survive the longest. I mean, what's out there on the island? There's so many circumstances and so much that can go into this question. I mean, say like there's just fish all around and there's really no other wild animals that can attack us and take us down, and there's no random snakes or predators that can get us and bite us, no random spiders that can bite us and poison us, then we would survive forever. We would survive until we're 100 years old. We would actually.
I'd make it a 4 seasons.
We would actually live till about 150 because we would have no poison in us. We would just have fish only. We would be jacked.
FDA, yeah, right.
Jacked as shit we would be because we wouldn't even have any carbs. We would just have protein for every single meal. And as long as there's
bananas probably on the trees.
I mean, we would survive
so we
forever.
Can get those carbs.
We would find a coconut tree and shake that freaking tree until all the coconuts fall down. Electrolytes. There we go. Dude, Jules, we should actually go to this island. We should find an island and just go there and live because we would live forever.
Did we get a lighter?
No, we got to make our own fire. We get no lighter.
All right.
And we don't need clothes.
Don't.
Just underwear or something just so we don't got to look at each other.
I just put a leaf.
There we go.
2 leaves and fucking a string from one of the packages that we found.
Like you're in the BC era. But if we were on an island, what would be like the thing you feared most? Like, would it be a shark? Say everything's in play. Like, every animal's in play. What animal would you fear the most, Jules? A shark, a lion, some
shit that I ain't never seen.
Like somehow this island still has dinosaurs that exist.
We're something. I would be looking for, like, velociraptors or some lizard that's fucking crazy, a snake. Like, the real question is, would you eat me if I died of natural causes? And the fish went low. You know you're getting protein.
Yeah, I sure am getting protein. With that boxer body that you got, you just all muscle.
Lean.
Yeah, lean.
It'd be like eating a bison.
I wouldn't.
You might get jacked.
I wouldn't eat you.
I think I would eat you.
I wouldn't eat you. If you were someone random that I didn't know, yes. But I know you too well. I would rather die first before I ate you to survive.
It's a good man. Yeah, I don't think I could eat someone.
I actually just watched that movie where that plane crashed. In the Swiss mountains, I'm pretty sure. And they eventually had to eat each other to survive. It was a tough movie to watch in those circumstances. It was a really good movie, but it was tough to watch a human eat another human to survive.
You know about the Donner Pass, right?
Nah, what's that?
Like old Oregon Trail. There was like a family that came over like the Sierra Nevadas mountains during the winter. And it started out with a bunch of people. And everyone started dying because they ran out of all. So they didn't bring enough supplies and they were freezing. And they started eating each other. Called the Donner Pass.
Never heard of it.
What if you slipped, fell, and you had a huge infection growing in your arm? Could you cut off your arm?
No, I would just jump in the ocean. Let the salt water take care of that business. Because salt water heals all. Salt water would get rid of that infection. I would sit there. It would burn. It would burn like a mofo, but I would sit there until that burn goes away and that infection goes away. And then if I had to, if that didn't work, I would cut off my arm. But then how would you stop the blood from, bleeding?
You got to tourniquet it with like some fucking...
a thin branch?
What I would do, I saw
some bamboo
on Instagram. You take branches and you can like rip off the things of the branch to make and then you could braid it to make a rope. So I'd probably have to before I cut my arm off, I'd probably braid a nice rope, tourniquet it, then I'd go find something to chew on while I fucking rip it off.
What would we do for fun? I already know, Jules. You don't even got to answer. We would probably find a tree branch that's kind of similar to a baseball bat. This brings me back to when we bunted, when we dented the Lombardi trophy, when I bunted with it. And we would have a tree branch that represents that baseball bat, and we would find a little rock, and we would play baseball throughout the whole entire island. We would probably build our own little fence, have a couple bases out there, use the coconuts as bases, and we would just be throwing ball all day long, where we would come back and we would be better than Big Papi on the Red Sox.
Maybe Marco Polo in the water one day. I guarantee there would be it wouldn't be like a game. It would just be like, hey, I bet you I could hit that rock on that mountain with this rock. First one to do it has to do 5 push-ups. All right. We sit there for 4 hours. It's like an 80-yard throw. No one hits it. We ruin our arms, have to cut it off because we infect them. Fun would be like swimming, probably.
Leaping frogs.
I think fun would be like the exploration of the island.
Home run derby, catching fish, spear fishing with branches, catching fish with our hands.
That would be deflating. You realize how hard it is?
Waving down every airplane or helicopter that flies over that's in the sky, even though there's no chance of them seeing us, we'd be waving them down. Or every boat trying to yell to as loud as possible. Help! Help!
Or make a big old SOS out of rocks. Like, that would be kind of fun. You could make a game out of it. Like, we're here to survive. It's not like, I think we'd pull the fun out of survival.
See, we're already thinking.
I don't know. I think that would be kind of fun.
This is fun.
Only thing we need is a case of Coors Light on there. We'd be all right.
Oh, we would grow our beards out, look like real cavemen.
I wonder how much how much weight you'd lose. You would lose hella weight, like just from like the amount of eating we're so accustomed to. You drop that like 40%, and we'd probably be dropping it like 80%. You drop that 20% for a week, you'll lose 5-10 pounds. You do that 80% for a year, Gronk would be looking like Jesus.
Amen.
Big ass, tall, skinny guy.
Amen.
Or what if you get like a toothache? I remember that in Castaway. He had to knock his tooth out.
I can tell you this, Jules. If we got stuck on the island, it would be the best rehab session we ever had. No caffeine, no chew for you, absolutely no alcohol at all around. Like, we would come back with the cleanest, clearest minds of all time.
We could make alcohol pretty easy, probably.
We would be like Tom Brady. Oh my gosh.
We probably might come out look like Tom. So we should just call it the TB12 method, the Castaway method.
Should we try out for Survivor?
Nah, Jimmy Johnson already beat us to it.
He's a legend.
Coach Jimmy's dialed when you do that Survivor shit. We did a couple of those on the thing that we're not supposed to talk about, but that Tom posted about. Jimmy is all in on the Survivor.
He is.
Like, the ball coach comes out, and that we did the Survivor stuff, and watching him tan with the hair and no shirt and like a bandana is just, it's natural. And that was the chillest dude of the week. Thanks to our favorite beer, Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/dudes and always celebrate responsibly.